Welcome back to Strong's Garage.
Yeah, you and Matt, Jim here.
Today we got a little shop tour video for you.
Oh yeah, neat little update of what's going on and in and around the shop.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy last few months, so it's good. Finally getting some of this stuff through the shop and out. My wife and kids came in and they started decorating for Christmas here, so that's just around the corner.
Well, we'll be here sooner than later, yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be great. We'd also like to thank you folks for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and all that.
Oh, for sure.
It really helps the channel. Tell your friends that like old cars too, because they may
enjoy. Yeah, tell them to turn on their notifications and
hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Yeah. And I'd just like to take a second to thank David Gunnarsson. He watched the show. He called me, and he literally wrote the book on 3536 Ford Model 51, the big trucks. He just published this book with the Early Ford V8 Club of America. And it's the comprehensive kind of nuts and bolts. These restoration manuals are wonderful. We have them all. We use them for all the V8 cars. It just tells you how things were in the factory, mostly in the United States. He does have a little appendix on Canadian stuff, but Canada cars are slightly different sometimes. But for the most part, these are wonderful books. And he inscribed it and signed it, and I just want to thank David for that. That's very kind.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was quite funny how he found us. He was watching one of our videos, and we were doing a tour of the shop that included the bathroom, and there's a new 36 Ford 1.5 ton
the dealer promo.
Yeah,
big
out.
cardboard poster.
So he had hit pause, and he had never seen it before.
Yeah, so I do have to send him a picture of that, but that's how we got to talking anyway. Very kind. So I think the best thing to do is to go through the shop, and we'll show you what we've been working on, and
yeah,
leave it at that.
See the sights.
All right, first stop on the little shop update tour is this 35 Ford Deluxe that we've been working on. Jim rebuilt the rear end for Harry, put 354-to-1 gears in it.
Oh yeah, speed him up a bit on the highway.
Yeah, get the RPM down and whatnot, but it's a nice older restoration. It was a really good car to start with. And it's got a bunch of doodads and accessories, so we can walk around. He's added signal lights to it. It's got this real neat bumper guard here, grill guard deal, dual horns because it's a deluxe, chrome windshield frame. The 35 Ford was the Model 48, and saw a lot of improvements over the Model 40, which was the 34, which we'll show you in a second. But it's a nice little car, and happy to work on it. I got it up in the air because we're working on the starter. But we might as well. We could show them this thing they've been asking about too, this beautiful little lift.
Wonderful little lift, yeah.
Yeah, we ended up with, I think it's from the 1930s or early 40s. There's no make mark on it, but it's like a straight axle lift and self-locking for safety.
Yeah, air powered.
It works great. We'll show you how it works. I'll bring it down here. Okay, so how it works basically, you put some air to it. It's just like our other hoists, which are air over hydraulic, except this is air over air. It's got this little valve here, so built-in locks, like I said, so you wheel her up a little bit, off the lock. Pull the lock, and then just bring it down to safety. Just like that. And it's easily mobile by, you just lift it and twist it on the second set of wheels. But that's a heck of a neat tool for sure. Really helps, eh?
Oh yeah.
Especially when you got two lifts tied up with other things. You can still saves the jack stands. Under the hood here we have the 221 cubic inch 21 stud flathead with accessory heavy duty air filter here for all the touring he does, I guess.
Oh yeah, all the gravel scum on the firewall.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a nice little, kind of just the way it was. Canadian heads, aluminum, Canadian intake, aluminum. It's got the correct Stromberg 48, deluxe chrome windshield frame. Inside it's quite nice. I'm not 100% sure if it's correct for 35, but it's got the early style banjo wheel.
Yeah, cool shift knob.
Super cool. Yeah, it's just a nice old car, an older interior, but yeah, just perfect example of a 35 Ford would have looked maybe when it was 5 years old.
Yeah, spacious back seat.
Yeah, all the room in the world, really.
These little windows open up for if you're enjoying a cigarette back here or need some fresh air.
Also has the locking spare tire. Kind of a neat feature. And these real neat old turn signals. They are a Yankee company, yeah, so it's pretty neat. I can show you. Oh, I got the battery disconnected.
Yeah, locking gas cap.
Yeah.
Trunk. Locked up, lock for safety.
Anyway, yeah, that's Harry's 35. It's almost done. We got tune-up to do, starter, grease it, and we got to deliver it next week. So thought we'd show you that before it leaves.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and moving backwards from 35, that 1934 Ford sedan delivery. It's a Model 40. It's actually my dad's car. 20 years now we've been working on this thing. And finally, have the frame restored and ready to be reassembled. We had to re-rivet the cross member and straighten it and a bunch of other things, but overall, pretty good frame now. So that's kind of exciting because that's a long time in the works. These are very hard to find good anymore. No different than the 35 through 40 frames, but the way Ford used to do their X member, like a reverse X where the frames fit inside each other, causes a lot of rotting issues, especially in between the two areas. Right here they usually rot out, but we actually found a really mint old frame about 8 or 10 years ago, and now finally found the time to do that. So we're going to start assembling that hopefully in the near future, so that'll be kind of exciting to see.
Alright, you might have noticed on the frame there was a not so Ford hood sitting there. 32 Chevrolet, and that's the owner of the cylinder head. So the car was sitting for a couple of years, the motor was stuck. Established there's a lot of coolant in the cylinder and oil pan, and tore down the head here, which is warped, had to fill the head gasket, and has got a awful crack going right through the valve seat, rendering it a very poor head and nothing really you would really want to fix. So we're on the lookout for a good used head. Here's all the components that were all rusted and stuck and fuzzy. They've got a real interesting little keeper system where it's just a standard that, and there's this little flat piece of metal here. Goes in there, holds it all in place. And so it's all pretty light spring loads on these. Back into place. The cast iron wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonder they ran at all.
Yes. And
Right.
what else we got here?
Well, we got this transmission we've been working on for this T.
Oh yeah, it's Model T transmissions. We've been.
That's the rod that we cut in the last video.
Oh right. Yeah, in that engine.
So now transmission is all ready to go back together, so when we get a little time, we're going to throw her together.
Yeah, and yet another case of cracking here. We've got this here is the sort of end plate that the output shaft goes on. It bolts to the brake sort of drum. And yeah, this one had some very bad cracking. So and the holes were egged out a bit. So good for just decoration now. And what do we got here? Here's the transmission, all rebushed. So yeah, we've got them cleaned up, machined, all ready to go together. Just awaiting a input shaft, or center shaft, I guess.
And to prove we don't just work on Fords and Chevs, we just got this in the other day, and this is cool. It's a 1928 Acme.
Yeah.
These are quite rare. It has a Continental 6-cylinder in it. It's a 1-ton truck. They were made in Cadillac, Michigan. They originally started as the Cadillac company, but Cadillac sued them.
Yeah.
So then, what, 1917?
17, yeah.
Acme, and then by 32, gone. And there's not very many of these left in the world, apparently, from what we were reading. And this is a local collector that's had this truck for quite a few years, and it hasn't run in probably 30. So he's asked us to recommission it so we can use it for parades and whatnot. So we'll just go through it just like it was 1928.
Again.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's a big
Very
truck.
Cool. Grain truck from our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Hauling grain to the elevator. Yeah, quite a bit of wood. Mostly wood, actually.
Yeah.
Wood and steel.
Doesn't scare us any though.
No.
Yeah, it's got these really cool pedals, but they come out at such a funny angle. But that's the way the truck was.
Weird shaped foot for that one.
Real neat unit though. And like Jim said, it was a grain truck. So it's got basically a grain tank, which was a wagon wheel operation, mounted to the truck.
Yeah.
Pre-hoist days, the elevator used to tip you out or you got your shovel going.
So you stand in there.
Show them how that back opens. That's really cool.
Put that open like that. That comes up. Folds like so. You yank that out. And you tip or shovel away.
Looks like a largely original box.
Oh, very, yeah. Floor looks quite original. Tailgate pieces, yeah, probably remade, but done quite nice. Straight back in. Just like that, you're back to the field for the next load.
Check out these cool tires it has too. These are probably from the 20s or early 30s. Made in Canada. Good year. Really cool tread though. On that head Jim was showing you on the bench back there, it's out of this 32 Chev. The guy who has it, his dad, had this car for probably 65 years.
Yeah, probably since in the early 60s
Yeah,
perhaps.
60 years in. And then he's had it for a number of years, and we're going to recommission it. Got some motor setbacks, but nothing we can't handle. The rod bearings look good, but the main bearings are shot. So we have to pour, these Chevys have a shell with Babbitt on them that fits in, and then it's line board. So we'll get that sorted out and get him back on the road here. A couple other things to do, kingpins and, you know, the normal wear parts.
Oh yeah, look it over. And,
But it's a largely original car, kind of how his dad had it, so we need to see it back on the old boulevard.
yeah, fun old four-door, take your friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go cruising. So with our preliminary comprehensive 7-point inspection here, we've noticed that there's a significant amount of play in this kingpin. So we've recommended to the customer some new kingpins be fitted on this car, and so he agreed. Yeah, so we'll get after that and yeah, make it drive quite nice. Perfect. Well, here it is, the cast iron wonder itself, and so it's been bored 60 over. It's got a bit of rust in some of these cylinders, but there's no ridge, so it should take to a honing, hopefully, and set of rings. We'll bring the pistons and cylinders back up to snuff, and we'll do valves in the head, bottom end, so from top to bottom.
More or less.
Have a good little, Chev. It's got a new water pump on the bright side, so that's good. You notice this crankshaft here moves, probably 50, 60 thou, and with a 1 thou oil clearance, we know something is suspect. This car, very interesting interior in it. It's very green, very fuzzy, and cool. It's a real timepiece, sort of. You can tell it was definitely the early 60s kind of when this thing was all done. But it's cool. It's got the wood garnish
cool.
molding.
I think it's neat.
Yeah,
the green is cool.
A new trick that we've never seen before here. This the silvering has failed down to the copper, and they've got this crazy Christmas light bulb reflector in here, which the customer complained the light output isn't very adequate. So see if we can get these resilvered. Original floor mat, which is very cool in this car. And so you see this plaque here. Canadian Antique Car Derby, Edmonton to Hinton, August 1st, 1964. And so that's very cool. The guy's, his father went on that tour, and we actually got some literature for it.
If you remember the video of that Model A Ford Roadster we got running, it was also on that tour with this car. So.
Yeah, very neat in the back. You've got curtains everywhere to set the mood or dim the light, I guess. And yeah, similar here, I'll roll this window. See how a Chevy's take was. Ah, they were more of a straight down. Okay, just roll it up here. All right, you ready?
Yep. Neat. Okay, another new addition to the shop, which is stuff we always like, literature. This is our Canadian Ford service bulletins from 1940. It covers the V8 cars and Lincolns, so 32 through 40. And we also have this set of mechanical service bulletins, which covers Model A Ford up through 38. This is American, but still nice original service bulletins. This one was from Smoky Lake, Alberta, which is just half an hour from here.
Yeah.
Came from Smoky Lake General Garage. These are awesome. And we just got these. Now these cover 1919 through 1928. These are Canadian Ford service bulletins. It's a complete set. Came from a garage that was in a small town in Alberta, and they're just immaculate. And it's just the reprints are good. We use them, but to have the original stuff, and because the reprints are usually the U.S. service bulletins, they're not the Canadian ones, which have pictures of Canadian dealerships and Canadian dealers and whatever. So anyway, look at this here. Isn't that nice? That's from 1928, I guess. Well, the bulletins are from 1919. They started, and so you'd keep adding to it, hence the string. So it could be as thick as the... I guess there's a bit we can add a few because the string's still got quite a bit of length to it. But anyway, isn't that something? So Canadian Ford service bulletins. All the information a guy could need on the Model T. And the very last bulletin in here is kind of interesting. It introducing the Ford Model A. So that's January 1928. As far as service bulletins go. Anyway, thought you'd get a kick out of that. We're always looking for more factory service material. We do have quite a bit for Chevy in the 30s as well, but the Ford stuff just seems to follow us home.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing.
Yep. So anyway, thanks to Steve for selling us these.
Yeah, right?
Well, that's kind of what we've been up to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, a few new tools, a few new books, hey?
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully things
All
hold
the
up.
projects.
Yeah, we got...
from 34.
Oh, the 34 is an old project. Yeah. We have another project too that we are going to be picking up at the Sandblaster pretty soon, so we can show you that once it gets here. But for the most part, basically just been mechanical stuff the last few months, eh?
Oh, busy, busy.
We'd also like to thank the patrons, because without their support, we couldn't do the video.
Oh yeah.
The videos take a long time. These videos of the shop tour are kind of fun, but when we do the working videos, it takes a long time.
Oh yeah, it's very very labor intensive.
Yeah, but it's not without reward.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah. So again, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.